Hello, my name is Michael Glenn, and in this episode of the Dojo Show, we're going to study the kata Kasa no Uchi. The name of this kata means in the bamboo hat or under a bamboo hat. We're going to learn to use the bow to strike up under our opponent's kamae and destroy him with the shadow that we create. I'm also going to show techniques for using the double bow that I learned directly from Hatsumi Sensei in Japan. Okay, today we're starting this kata, Kasa no Uchi it's called. And in this kata we're both starting in Seigan. Okay, so I'm in Seigan here, he's in Seigan there. I'll just do the kata first and we'll talk about it. Okay, so from here I strike to do here, flip this around up under the hands. Okay, once more. So I'm starting in Seigan here, do, this comes around and up under the hands. Okay? How about that corner? So Seigan here to do, this comes around and up under James's hands. Alright? I strike to do on this side, this flips around and up under James's hands. Okay? Try it out. Remember, Seigan, you want the tip pointed towards your opponent's eyes, okay? So I'm in this kamae here, and my first strike is to do there, okay? So that's at the side of Jesse's body. That leaves this side open for me to strike. So then I go to do on that side, right? Then this flips through and up into Jesse's hands. Over here maybe. Okay, so I'm in my Seigan here. I strike to do on this side. This comes around and through up under Jesse's hands. So if he hangs onto his sword, right, hold it, I'm coming up through the middle here, okay, to lift it up. And if I hit it hard, the idea is you maybe knock the sword from his hands. Okay? So let's go again. So here, chewed on, right? This comes around, bam, through there. Okay? You want to do one more? Maybe this way. So I'm in my Seigan here. I strike to do on this side, do on that side. This comes around and up through the hands. Okay? So he backed out that time because it's pretty scary. When this is coming to hit you in kote, it's a little dangerous. Yeah. So if James doesn't block, I come here and I'm hitting at do, okay, the side of his body, right? So he blocks that one. So the next one, self-explanatory. If he doesn't block, I'm striking do on this side, okay? But he's gonna block that one, so he blocks there. This last one, I bring it up here to give me options, like it's kind of neutral. So I come up here and it obviously could come straight back down, right? Or I can use it for deception, so I come up and through, okay, through his hands. Okay, if he manages to block that one, right, somehow he manages to block that one, you don't have to go for the hands, you could go for the groin. Okay, one more. So you're here, you go for do, this comes around, right, and you see James backing out already. because it was nervous made him nervous. So Seigan to Do to Do. See how this can go anywhere on the center line here? It doesn't have to go to the hands. One more, James. So here, right, I go for Do, Do. This rises up, and it can go anywhere along James's center line. So it could go under the hands, it could go into the groin, it could go up under the chin, right? Any target that's available, depending on how he responds. Okay? Try that again, please. From the Seigan position, I do my strike to Do, Do on this side. When I rotate this through the hands here, I want to take control of Jesse's hands. Okay, you see how I've controlled Jesse and the sword to be able to bring him down. One more over here. So from Seigan here, I go to Do, Do on this side. This comes up through, but I've got control over Jesse. Okay? So that you see how I controlled him the whole way down. So when I lift this up under Kote, it's not just to knock the sword away, it's also to control. One more. So from here to Do, this flies through, and I've got control of Jesse's arm here. You guys might be able to see that, right? So, down. He was forced to let go of the sword there at the end because of all the leverage. Yeah. So explore this feeling, and if he's holding the sword with both hands, when you control, you could go either way, right? Check that out. When I do my strike to Do and then the other strike to Do, in the kata it says to bring the tip all the way around and through, okay, to hit up under the hands. But there's some henka we can do that can make this more interesting, right? So again, I'm in Seigan here, I strike to Do, and this time I'm going to bring up from the rear tip, okay? So instead of bringing the other tip all the way around and through, right, after this strike, I just bring the rear tip through, okay? You see that's a bit quicker. One more. So from Seigan here, Do, Do, and then right up into Kote. You guys can see I'm hitting Kote here, okay? When his arm is down, that's bone, okay? So you're hitting the bone to make him want to release the sword. That's the key there, all right? One more that way, maybe. So Seigan, Do, Do, right there to Kote. And that leaves him all exposed here for maybe some other shot, okay? There's different ways to do this haneage strike, this rising strike into the arm. In the kata version, you're here and you rise up, right? Soke shows another version where he uses the back end to rise up. And I'm going to show yet another version that's really quick. So if Jesse's over here, I'm in Seigan here, I come this way, right there. So the front, I'm using the front end of the staff to go rise up into the kote. Once more. So here, Do, Do, right there. So I don't even pull the front back. I don't pull this. After I strike to Do here, I'm not pulling the tip back and striking, right? It just levers and strikes. One more time. So from Seigan, Do, Do. Okay. So I have a lot of options here. I can hit Kote or I could hit other targets, okay, depending on what's available to me, okay. That particular henka is really fast, and so if you need to move quickly against your opponent, so Do, Do, okay. You guys can see there, that time I hit his suka instead of the arm, and so it made that sound, and you could see what it would do. All right, try that one. When you're doing this Hanayage strike from this position, there's a moment in the middle where you come to tenchi here. Okay, and from this kamae, there's a lot of possibility for Ihen sabaki, which is the heading for all these kata we're working on, right? So from here, when I do this strike and do this strike, and I'm coming around to strike to his kote there, there's this moment where I'm coming around where I'm in tenchi here. Okay, so from this position, there's a lot of change that is possible. I can enter and strike the leg and shield against his sword here, right? It doesn't matter which one of the henka we're doing, if it's the one that comes all the way through, or if it's the one that hits with the back end, or the one that hits with the front end. That part doesn't matter, okay? So let me go again. So do, when I come to hit with the back end here through, there's still this moment of tenchi here, okay? So after I've struck the do, I come here, you know, before I strike to kote, this moment of tenchi, okay? This position allows me to shield against his kote. You see how his hand is trapped? Okay, and then I can slide my hand there to trap it more. Once more. So from Seigan, do here, okay? So I can hit to kote if I want, or I can use this for shielding. Okay, you see how Jesse got shielded there? So here, and instead of using the front end like we were, right, I can come to tenchi again, okay? All right, so there's those spots in the middle. Instead of striking the kote, you come here to tenchi, and then you can use it to shield yourself as you enter. When I was in Japan in December, Sensei was showing us some really interesting things with the bow, and he was using double bow. Okay, and it was part of the Ihen that he was sharing with us, which was very fascinating. So I'm going to talk about that for a second. So if I have the double bow here, and I'm in Seigan with Jesse, right? I strike. When I come through to my tenchi position here, I can use the first bow as a distraction. I got this double bow situation here, right? And when I'm against Jesse, I try to kind of disguise that fact from him a little bit, right? I'm here to do. When I come up here to my tenchi position, then I have the opportunity to use one bow to distract him, okay? This is something Sensei was doing in December in Japan. One more. It's hard to do it safely because you throw one bow at your opponent, and that gets kind of dangerous, right? So I'm here in Seigan, I strike to do, strike to do. When I come to my tenchi position, I can throw one bow at my opponent, right? So by letting that one bow loose, you see how it disarmed him. Here I'm in Seigan, do. When I come to tenchi here, I use that bow and set it free. Okay, this is near Jesse's foot here. Okay, so I've got the sword tied up there, and I've sandwiched his leg between the bow. Okay, you see the interesting things that can happen when you use this this double bow technique that Soke was using in Japan. It's pretty fascinating.